So hello everyone and welcome to the first of two tenor rehearsals this week in this third and final week of Summer School 2022, and we are of course looking at The Lark Ascending by Ralph Vaughan Williams. It's just such a gorgeous piece. We've had a lot of fun with the sopranos and the basses and the altos so far, so it's now your turn, tenors and tenaltos and sopranos and everyone else who's here to get to know this gorgeous piece. Before we crack on and learn some music, could I ask you to have your pencils and or highlighters ready? That's just a general note for this rehearsal, as there are many places where you'll turn the page and you'll need to have that quick reminder as to which line we're singing on. And we're just going to go through and mark in where the various sections are. Now, I know that some of you already know where this is, but for those who don't, we have an introduction on the first two pages, so that's just intro, and that's where we just sing this really very simple line, and that's to an and we just hold that then for a page and a half. So that's the intro. We'll get to that in a minute. So now what I've called section 1, which is the first really big chunk of music, and we are breaking this up into these 5 parts so that you can record them in sections rather than having to do a full 15-minute recording take, which would just be unfair, very unfair. So section 1 runs from figure 2, which you'll find at the top of page 5, through to figure 13, which is at the bottom of page 10. So I'll just say that again. Section 1 runs from figure 2, little number 2 in the box at the top of page 5, to section figure 13 at the bottom of page 10, everyone. Now then, from the bottom of page 10 through to the top of page 14, so that's figures 13 to 20, that is section 2. So I'll say that one more time. Figure 13, which is the bottom of page 10, through to the basically the end actually of page 13, but up to figure 20 is section 2. Section 3 runs then from the top of page 14, figure 20, through to the top of page 20, and that is figure 29. So it's figure 20 to 29, pages 14 to 20 is section 3, and then section 4 is figure 29 at the top of page 20 through to the end. Now we're going to aim and do our very best to get 3 sections done today, and that will leave us with section 4, and then we will learn all of the solo parts. All right, we're not going to look at any of the solos today. There's plenty more for us to be getting on with. I'll be honest, there's not a huge amount of tenor solo for you throughout. I mean, there's some, and it'd be well worth us learning those, and I do hope you'll record for us. But the big job obviously here is the choral parts. Now there is some first and second tenor splits, and when we get to that we'll obviously break it up and we will run through everything with a first and second tenor playthrough. Alright, so let's start at the very beginning, as I'm fond of saying, a very good place to start. The first page is page 3 of the score, and this intro, well, I want you to sing for me. Now, I had Helena asking this morning, can we sing instead? Now, I know that's a slightly easier sound, but what we're trying to create, everyone, is the sound of muted strings. And so this needs to be a closed rather than an sound, and make it quite a far forward sound. And the rhythm is... that long note holds whilst the lark, that is Charles, plays above. So can we just sing that little introduction, and then I'll talk to you about how to follow Charles's line so we come off all very cleanly at the end. And of course we stagger the breathing throughout this whole section, so you breathe where you need to, and more on that in a minute. So let's sing together please, from the start. Ready? After 6, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. It is pianissimo, very, very quiet indeed. Definitely an sound, please. And you can take a breath after the first one, and just bear in mind there's a tiny, tiny bit of a pullback in tempo as we move through the second to just allow that to settle. Now the long notes we hold, as I say, to the middle of page 4, and you'll breathe wherever you like, and that's absolutely fine. Just be really aware of your lung capacity. Start to notice a good sort of 3/4 of the way through a full sing, okay, a full note, before you start to run out of air. Just be aware that you think I'll be running out of air in about 5 seconds, and at that point fade your voice out, take a deep breath, pitch the note perfectly, and then fade your voice back up. We want to avoid, if we can, sudden starts and stops. We want to definitely avoid you going and your voice running out of air. And if possible, we want to avoid any pitch shifting. So it's quite easy if you're not keeping a close eye, as it were, on your breathing. It's quite easy if you just go or scoop in. So just pitch that as perfectly as you can. Let's give that a go. Let's sing along. Let's sing along with Josh, shall we? So you'll notice there, we're just going to sing the first 2 pages, and that will be the intro learnt. Now, in terms of following Charles's line, I don't expect you to be able to read all these pitches at the sort of pace that Charles is playing them. But do watch the shapes, okay? Particularly when you get to the top of page 4, you see a whole load of runs with some really lovely high notes, okay, B's and D's, and then you have this. Okay, and that last note there is the first note of the second line. So when you hear that, the bird song, sounds a bit like a high-pitched police car, that's the start of the second line on page 4, and then you've only got really a handful of notes really before you come off. So just be aware, and let's see how we get on. So your notes, tenors, is there, basses are here, altos here, but this is all about the tenors. So here we go, and 1, 2, 3, and we hold that note now. Top of page 4 now. So follow it up to a high note. Now. Start of the second line, still holding that B. Not long to go now. And there we are. So you think it's easy to just hold a note for that length of time. Obviously, that's been edited to make it sound like it's one note. But even the fairy singers, at the very end, there's a little bit of pitch wobble, just a little bit. So just breathe whenever you need to. Make sure you really fill up and focus on keeping that pitch as rock solid as you can. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Over the page, please, to page 5, figure 2. And this is the start of section 1. And there is a bit of first and second tenor split on the next page, but really the first page of this is all in unison. And so we'll proceed together at this point. Now, the sound that we're making through the first half of this first section is an sound. It's not an R. That comes later, and that's with the drop jaw. R. What we want is something that's a bit more closed. And I've been saying to everyone, it's the of station. The sound in English language known as the schwa. And so what we want to have is this. Just like that. Okay? Now at the very start we have that figure exactly 4 times. So the first 4 bars. And we don't want to accent this, we just want it to flow up and down. Okay? So let's sing those first 4 bars from figure 2. Nice deep breath, and... Now we've arrived at the last bar on the top line of page 5, and so this is different. After having 4 bars the same, we now sing. Listen. Okay, so just before we sing it, there's the G, there's the A, that's the second note, and we come back to that after the little rise. So let's sing that together, and fabulous. So this is the bar of 3. So now carrying on from the next bar, we drop down to the E and we sing. Okay, I'm going to play you from figure 3 now to figure 4, and what you'll realise is that it's the same thing either side and a little bar of excitement in the middle. So from 3 it is. Okay, let's sing that together. Remember to an sound, not an R or an it's an Nice deep breath. 4, 5, 6. Super. And we're staggering the breathing throughout this whole section, so breathe wherever you need to. Take a note out if you need to, and come back in at a time that is convenient to you. Now then, we're at figure 4, the little 4 in the box above the stave, and so now really gorgeous part, isn't it? Let me sing this for you. So this is from 4, the last 2 bars of page 5, and now what you'll notice there hopefully is we have a crescendo in the last bar of the page and then down to pianissimo. So let's sing that together from figure 4, please everyone, last 2 bars of page 5, and splendid. Well done. Excellent job. Now, carrying on, we have first and second tenor split. And so what we'll do is we'll carry on as first tenors from this point. So this is the 3rd bar of page 6. We've just finished there on an A. So now we sing. Listen again. Okay, this is the 2 bars before 5 with me, and lovely. Thank you very much, first tenors. We then go up to that D, so we're now at figure 5, and we sing. Okay, now that long note at the end, that A, that is nearly 3 full bars. So again, we'll be staggering the breathing through that last note. And just listen again from 5. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. And then we hold that long A with a diminuendo through it. Let's sing from figure 5, please. Still to this sound. And with a definite diminuendo through it. Okay, super. So let's sing from the top of page 6, please, from the first bar, second set of beats from that G, and we'll sing as first tenors. Okay, so here we go from the middle of bar 17, deep breath, and There we are. Thank you. So that's first tenors. Now second tenors, well, you can already see it basically follows the same part. In fact, it's a bit simpler than the first tenors. If we go from the first bar again of page 6, halfway through that bar, it's... and they do the same thing again. Okay, let's break that down into manageable chunks. So once again, from the top of page 6, let's go straight in. So straight in, top of page 6, first note. So second tenors, it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's sing that together. The first 4 bars of page 6, second tenor. And... excellent. Then we drop down a semitone at figure 5. And we hold that long A for 2 bars or so with a diminuendo. So just listen again from figure 5. So it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Off. Okay. Let's sing all together, please. Second tenors from the top of page 6, paying all that attention to the dynamics, particularly that lovely diminuendo through the bottom of the page. Straight in, please. First note of page 6, and this will be a second tenor. Sing through. And... with that very clear diminuendo for me. Thanks so much, tenors. Well done. Now, we don't sing the last bar of the page at figure 6, and we don't sing for the first 4 bars of page 7. So we come in at the top of page 7, both parts together again. There is a little bit of split coming up at the bottom of this page and onto the next page, but we are in unison for now. And so we sing. So this is the 2 bars at the top of page 7 going to the first note of the bottom line. So again, this is pianissimo with a little swell to the middle of the phrase and back down. It is... listen again. And you heard there's a little bit of a pullback of tempo just before the last note I played there. So just be aware of that. Let's sing that together. Pianissimo with a swell. And... it's a particularly nice moment, that, particularly with the basses in fifths. Very, very Vaughan Williamsy. Now, at figure 7, everyone, we are again in unison. And just remember, we've been singing all the way through. That's about to change, so just be ready. Now, we have this lilting. We do that 3 times, then we descend down. So let's sing that. So from 7, it is... let's do that one more time, and... Lovely. Now the last 2 bars of the page, we get we start that phrase as and as we crescendo through the last bar of the page, that opens and blossoms into that sound. So make sure you've got that circled. We need to have that sound. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous moment. Now, first tenors, it's okay. Second tenors, okay. So let's sing that together, please. Second tenors and okay, fantastic. We're now at figure 8, everyone, and let's have a look at this now. We've got first and second tenor split for the rest of the page, and indeed onto the next page as well. But first tenors, you get the tune here, and you get quite a lot of the tune. Sops get a bit of it, altos take it over, but tenors, you get to keep it actually for most of the line. And this happens actually several times, because the tenor part is basically doubling what would normally be either the second violin or the viola part, and they often in Vaughan Williams get to double the tune, so you get a bit of extra tunage here. Isn't that nice? So this is the first tenor part. It's marked forte, at least for the first 4 bars. There's a subito piano where we drop down, and a crescendo at the end of the line. So some fairly complicated dynamics that you need to be aware of. It's also marked sostenuto, which just means sustained, which means we don't let the notes die away. We sing through them. You really put your shoulder to the wheel here. So we sing. Gorgeous. So let's sing that together. Here we go from figure 8 and now that last note with that funny on it is the first note of section, figure 9 below, and it's got an FP written on it. And FP means you hit it with forte and suddenly go back to piano. Like that. Okay, so can we just do that line one more time? Really enjoy this line. It's really, really rich and sonorous. So from figure 8, please, everyone. First tenors and thank you, first tenors. Now then, let's have a look at the second tenor part. So you can see that's where the stem's pointing down, back to figure 8. Excuse me. Not necessarily the tune, although it does have a little section, if you notice, that you are singing the tune, but it has some of the really important chromatic shifts, some of the moving by semitone, which are so important to the wonderful sort of modal sound of this piece. So let's look at that first bar from figure 8. So with me, and again. Then we sing with the first tenors. We go down there to a B natural. Okay, so can we sing from figure 8 again, please? Second tenors and drop down a semitone. With that FP. Listen to again from the last 2 bars, top of page 8, and okay with me, and fabulous. So from figure 8, please, second tenors, nice deep breath, and fabulous. Great stuff. Right, quick sip of drink. Feel the gremlins taking hold. Now then, we are at figure 9, everyone. So well, let's carry on in the first tenor voice, and we can take this. We're going to learn everything from figure 9 through to 11 as first tenor. Okay, so from figure 9, we've just arrived there with the first tenors there on that C. So we start a new R and we sing 1. Okay, so 2 ideas here. Let's look at the R first. So it is. Sing that for me. And 1. And this is a really important moment because we go from B minor to F, which is a modal shift. It sounds kind of otherworldly and alien, and a big part of what makes this piece so special. So just be really confident when you sing those notes. And then in the third bar after 9, bottom of page 8, we start a little sort of passing fire engine sort of sound, and we sing. So first time it's moving by tone, and then by third. So let's sing that together, and it's absolutely gorgeous with the violin and the altos as well. So we then get to the R tempo bar, last 2 bars of the page, and we sing with me, and it's a short note at the end there. One more time, and excellent. So can we go from from figure 9, first tenor's largamente, and this is the second note, and 1. Lovely. Excuse me. Now we pick up there and we sing an A. That's both first and second tenors. Now if you look over the page, it's something rather odd happens, but that is just the second tenors singing the tune whilst we hold an A for 1, 2, just under 3 bars here, tenors at figure 10. So if we just pick it up from the last note of page 8, so it is, and this is first tenors, it's 1. Okay, I appreciate there's stuff going on around you, but you hold that A all the way through whilst the second tenors get that lovely. Okay, but we hold that A. So sing that A for me, please. The last note of page 8. Thank you, tenors. After 1 and 1. Super, well done, thank you. And we're now at the last bar, top of 9, and this is still first tenors, and we sing. And this is just first tenors that get this bit. Listen again. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Now, let's just run that. Let's go from figure 9, please. First tenors through to figure 11. Okay, we're going to go from the second bar of figure 9, which is the bottom of page 8, starting on the D to an R. After 1 and 1. Great stuff. That last phrase, just you're the only voices at that point, first tenors. So sing it as if you're a lone voice singing out across a beautiful valley and letting your voice carry off into the distance. Great stuff. Now let's have a look at the second tenor part. I've got a question from Helena. Should the note in the middle of bar 43 for the second tenors be a flat or a natural? Let's just find it. Yep, that's a B natural, Helena. Okay, as I said, B natural and then a B flat. All right, thank you. Now then, let's pick things up from figure 9 at the bottom of 8, and this is the second tenor part. Okay, we've just sung that A. That's the A on the forte piano at the start of figure 9. So we then drop down to an F sharp and we sing 1. Okay, so from the second note of figure 9, it's 1, 1, 2. Okay, ready? So sing that together from figure 9 and 1. Fabulous. Then at our tempo, starting on that note, same as the first tenors. Okay, then picking up on that note, same as the first tenors, but we get a bit of tune in a minute, second tenors. So we sing 1. Okay, so this is from the last note of page 8. So we sing 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's sing that together, please, from the last note of page 8 and 1. Lovely. Now we move up to the F sharp. This is the fourth bar of the page, and we sing. Okay, so the last 4 bars at the top of page 10. Okay, let's sing that together. Last 4 bars, top of page... That's not page 10, I'm sorry, page 9. The 4th bar after 10. Here we go, and... There we are. Now, let's sing from figure 9, second tenors, and then we have just one more little bit to learn, and we can sing section 1 from the beginning. Doing really well. Well done, tenors. So, from figure 9, second tenor sing through after 1, and 1. Fantastic. Thank you so much, second tenors. And it's unison now for the remainder of this section, and actually quite a lot as I just glance at it of section 2, really right up to the end of section 2, and you get lots of lovely tune in this next section. So let's finish off section 1. Okay. So we are at figure 11, and you see here the first tenors sing that lovely note, the sopranos take over this idea, the basses come in, and tenors, you come in humming 2 bars before figure 12, and you sing. Listen again. Let's sing together. And just be aware the tempo will just pull back a teensy bit there. Just be ready for that. And then, well, this will be reminiscent of the opening. We sing. So it's obviously very much derived from that earlier material, but it's not quite the same. So that bar of figure 12, we come in on the 4th quaver beat. So it's 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we take a breath, and the last bar of the page is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So we actually move in an unexpected place. This is just Vaughan Williams writing out a rallentando. So rather than leaving it in the hands of the conductor, he's deliberately written it slower so that we sing it, or in the orchestra's case, play it. So just one more time, from figure 12, second half of the bar, it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we hold that again, hold that same note, breathing wherever we need to, staggering the breathing, whilst the lark once again. And so on. Flies around. You're listening out for these again. Now that's a high D. When Charles gets up to that note, we stop singing that long note. So tenors, that is section 1, and we're making excellent progress. What I think we'll do is we'll sing that one through. First tenors first, second tenors afterwards. I'll click along so you get a sense of where the beat is, and play along as well, so you've got that. Remember, you've got all of these tracks to listen to on your Universal link, and if in doubt, follow the guide track. That is the ultimate advice on all of this. Now just bear with me a minute, I just need to plug my laptop in before it decides to give up the ghost. There we go, that's a bit happier. So let's sing it through from the start of section 1. Now for those of you that want to jump into the recordings and do these sections before the chunks are created in the full version, section 1 starts at around about 1 minute and 55 seconds. So that's where we're going to jump in now. 1:54, just before that actually, and you'll notice here. Okay, so we're starting with the sound, tenor 1 on page 5. Enjoy. Here we go. And down. This is top page 7. Second bar. Third bar. Fourth bar ready. And... opening to an R. First tenor's here. Hold this, figure 10. Keep holding that note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This note, just follow the pattern. Now the second line, 2, 3, climbing. And there we are. Isn't it such a wonderful piece? And that violin, I don't think I've ever heard it played better. We really are so privileged to have Charles as our lark. So how's everyone doing in the comments? Good. Now then, let's crack on with the second tenor sing through. So back, please, everyone, to the top of page 5. Start with section 1. Remember, section 1 is figures 2 to 13. And here is your note again. So this is second tenor. This is with Josh. Tom did a lovely job with that, though, didn't he? Here's Josh. And we'll skip through 1 minute 55, thereabouts. Ready, and... Second tenor. Figure 5. Getting quieter. Lovely. Figure 6. Over the page. Look off there. Don't feel you have to put the cough in. And second tenor, remember. Second tenor, figure 10. And 11. Six, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we hold again. See if you can follow the violin. And now the second line down. Ascending, ready, and there we go. Fabulous. So that is section 1 for first and second tenors. Great job, everyone. Quick sip of drink, making excellent time. Now then, let's crack on. Now section 2 is shorter and nowhere near as much first and second tenor splits. It's just, I think there's literally one note, two notes at the last point here. And actually, tenors, from your point of view, I think you get the best deal in all of this this particular section, because you get so much tune. All right, don't tell the others. So we're at figure 13, bottom of page 10. Now we're changing from and and to do. Okay, we want a nice oo sound with the lips pushed forward. Okay, and so from the start of the section, figure 13, we sing do, 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 and that last F sharp was the first note of the next page. So just follow us along again from 13. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you see the little horizontal line above. That means you sing a full length note, leaning on it slightly. And so let's sing that together. Piano dynamic, not too much. And let's take it from figure 13. Ready? 1, 2. Do, 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 do. Super. Now, from the start of the next page, we've just arrived at that first note of page 11. We drop down and we sing do, 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 do. Okay, so in fact, let's go from the very first note of page 11. Just follow the pitches. This is going to take us from the top of page 11 to figure 15. So it goes 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now before we sing it, just be aware of the poco rit at the top of 11. That means a little bit of a slow down, and that's just in that do, do, do. And if you look at what the rest of the choir are doing, we've got this dum, 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 dum. And and so those quavers da, 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 will slow down. So just be aware of that so you don't rush into your long note. And the long note there, 4 after 14, is very quiet. Do, almost exactly 8 clicks, and you'll get the sense of the tempo from the violin as soon as we start. So let's go from the very start of page 11 on that F sharp, nice big do. Ready? 1, 2. Do, 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 do. Lovely, well done. Let's take it from the beginning of the section back to the preceding page, section 2. So that is figure 13, the bottom of page 10, and not too loud. This is all piano until it gets even quieter. Ready? 1, 2. Lovely. So we're now at 15. And, well, this is a bit of a tennis holiday, if I'm honest. Everything for the next page and a half is just tune. So we sing. Do, 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 okay. Don't know about you, I can hear a kind of grinding sound. It's like the rest of the choir grinding their teeth. But if you are watching from another section, record the tenor part. It really is the best part in the entire, on these 2 pages. The part you want to sing is tenor because you get the tune throughout. Let's break that down into manageable chunks. Actually, the hardest part, I think, with this is putting the do's in the right place, because it's not, as you've noticed, it's not do, 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 do all the way through. Sometimes you've got to sing melismatic do's, and what you're looking out for, everyone, to be really clear on this, it's either you're looking for the slurs between notes, but the best indicator that you're singing a longer do rather than singing do, 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 you're singing do, oo, 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 is a horizontal line at the end of the note. And actually, the very first do you sing is a 2-beater. So it is do. See the horizontal line after the oo? That indicates you're to sing more than one syllable to that note. So it's do, 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 do. Sing with me. And do, 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 do. And then do, 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 do. Bit trickier. So let's sing it from figure 15 slowly. 1, 2, do, 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 do. Lovely. Let's do that again because I got that wrong. Here we go. And do, 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 do. Fabulous. Then going on. Do, 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 do. So it's do, 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 do. So this is the beat just for figure 16 and 1, do, 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 do. And then do, 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 do. With me and do, 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 do. And then finish the line do, 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 do. Okay, let's sing from the start of page 12 from the do. Ready? After 1, 2, 1. Do, 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 do. Great. Let's do it really slowly from figure 15, everyone. Okay? Figure 15. I've just seen in the comments, Emma highlights the lines between the do's, helps me not sing the do in the wrong place. That's a really good idea. So take your highlighter and just mark it in and just highlight the lines. Great tip, Emma. Thank you. Really good idea. Gold star. Now then, let's go from figure 15. Okay, bottom of 11. Have fun with this. Ready? 1, 2. Do, 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 and then we're at figure 17. That last one's just a long do. Listen to it again from 17. Just make sure it's a C natural there. Okay, here we go. From 17, just be careful where you're putting the do's. Here we go. And do, 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 do. Well done. That's going to take a bit of practice, bit of highlighting, but you get the tune here. And if you turn over the page, we're on the last page of the section already, which is amazing. Now, we are now at figure 18, and finally, after lots of mming and ahhing and doing, you get some words. Tenor singing. Singing till his heaven fills. Beautiful, beautiful words here. Now, from figure 18, it's 1, singing. Doesn't go down. You're going to want to go down, but you stay on the E. Listen again, and 1, singing. Sing with me, please. Mezzo forte, not too quiet. And 1, singing. Lovely. Now, the one thing to note here before we move on is this little 4-bar section, top of page 13, has got poco meno mosso, which means a little bit slower. Okay, so it's actually more like 1, singing, and then our tempo back to a slightly faster tempo. It's 1 till his heaven fills. So 1 till his heaven fills. Great. Let's try that together. Let's try from singing at figure 18. And 1, singing till his heaven fills. Splendid. Now we're at figure 19 at the bottom of the page. So we drop down to an E here. And so this is the first tenor part. It's okay, and at first listen, that sounds particularly tricky, but let's just break it down into chunks. A third followed by a tone. Sing for me from 19, and lovely, and then it's just up the arpeggio. So from the third bar after 19, and now we hit that G and we diminuendo to a piano. So just listen to the pitches again from 19. Okay, one way to think of it is a C major arpeggio with an A in the middle. Let's just sing that quickly. So to bar, and ba 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 ba, and again ba 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 ba. So to R, and super. Now that's the first tenor part. The only difference with second tenors is you don't go up to the G. So you sing. Listen again. Okay, here we go. And gorgeous chord, that C6. So that is the first and second tenor part for section 2. We're doing really, really well, tenors. It helps that we've got such a lot of lovely tune to enjoy. So what we'll do is we will sing section 2 twice for each part. So we'll have a tenor 1 sing through twice, and then a tenor 2 sing through twice. This one is just a little bit faster, takes a little bit more concentration, and getting those do's in the right place is not easy to do. Sorry. So I know, I'll get my coat. So let's let's grab. It's been a long day. It's hot in here. Let's jump in now. For those of you who want to jump into this, in terms of the guide tracks, 5 minutes 55 is the approximate starting point for section 2. Your note is there. Okay, it's the note you finished on, so you come in on the same note. Quite handy. So let's pick it up from here. This is a tenor 1 sing through. And 14, slowing down, careful, 17, 1, and 1, and there we go. Not the easiest part, and as you've noticed, the tempo is so flexible in this middle section. Just to clarify what's going on at the top of page 12 before we have that one again. First tenor sing through. The tranquillo there, 3 after 16, quite a significant slowdown, and then our tempo at 17. So just make sure you're watching, listen out for the click as I'm clicking along with this playthrough, and just be aware you have more to do there in terms of following the beat, tenors, than anyone else. And then back to tempo, and so on. So it takes a bit of practice. It's one of the not the downsides of having the tune, just one of the responsibilities of having the tune, making sure you're being really diligent and following it really carefully. So same again, first tenor sing through from the bottom of page 10. Here we go. So it's that same note. The violin even plays your note. Here we go. Deep breath. Fabulous stuff. Now let's have a sing through, one of two for the second tenors, and then we're moving on into section 3. Just a quick glance ahead. There is some split, but it's not going to take us that long, I don't think. So second tenor sing through, Same place, 5 minutes 55. Lots and lots of background noise on this particular second tenor track. Same start, of course, and there's only a little bit of split at the end. So actually, I don't know if we need to sing this through twice. It's literally just that last section. So we are second tenor, just the once, I think, and then we'll push on. So there we go, ready, and... tempo. And 1, 2, second tenor. Fabulous. Fabulous. So that's section 2 taught. Bit of practice needed. Just get those do's in the right place, but really hope you're enjoying it, tenors. And I have to say, I'm wrong. It's not Josh. Of course, that's Chris. We've got Tom on the top line. We've got Chris on second tenor, so that must mean Josh is doing the tenor solo part. So we will get to sing with the great Mr. Cooter at some point. But for now, let's press on into section 3, tenors. And this is another relatively short section. This is going to lead us from page 14 through to page 20. Now, as I've said, we're not going to be looking at the solo parts until I see you on Thursday morning. So throughout page 14, you don't sing anything on page 14. You come in with the altos on page 15. And just as we glance through, this is where we have lots of solo parts going on. This is where a highlighter will be really very, very useful, because if you notice, tenors, you come in on page 15, you're on the second line up from the bottom, and you are again on the next page, and then we move on to another system. So just note where your line is. You're always the second line up from the bottom of the system, but sometimes they put more than one system on a page. So just make sure you've got your line highlighted so it doesn't catch you out. And as I say, we do have some first and second tenor split, but let's crack on with page 15. Okay, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't labour these semiquavers. They don't want They're decorating. That's all it is. Okay, we don't want it to get lumpy. Sing for me, please. The first 2 bars of tenor on page 15, and then now note the first bar on page 16, everyone, is different. It's a 9/8 bar. Okay, that means it will feel like 3 in a bar. We've had a feeling of 1 and 2, and here it's 1 and 2 and 3, and then back to the 6/8. So make sure you've got that noted, circled, even writing in big letters 9/8, which I've done. Okay, so your line once again from the entry is the first and second tenor. Lovely. Now we are at figure 23, and let's press on with first tenors now to the bottom of the next page. So we've just gone up to a G, we drop to a third below to an E. Okay, so we sing okay, so that was everything from where the parts split at 23 to 2 bars after 24. So let's break that down into chunks. So we hold the E at 23 for a count of 3. Then we sing a D for a count of 2. Then we move back up to the E for a count of 2. Then 1 count on D. And then F for 3. So let's sing from where it splits, from the E at 23 to that F. Ready? 1, 2. Splendid. We're now in another 9/8 bar. Just be aware that'll feel like 3 in a bar, and this is the run up to figure 24. We've just sung an F, so we sing for a count of 2, and then at 24 it's so we sing 2 notes on the D. We separate those into 2 R's, so it's with a nice crescendo up to the animato bar at the bottom of page 17. So let's run that through. In fact, let's go right back to page 15 and do a first tenor run from the start of page 15 to the bottom of page 17. Ready? First tenors. And okay, just lots and lots of counting here. Just make sure you've taken note of where those 9/8 bars are, and just remember to count like mad. Okay, now second tenors, you'll be pleased to see you actually follow the same rhythm, but you're usually a third away from the second tenors. So let's just have a look here. So from the start of page 16, we sing this F and this G. Now at 23, instead of dropping down to the E, we drop down to the C. Okay, so we sing. Okay, so let's just break that down into what we're actually singing. So from the C at figure 23, it's a count of 3. Okay, then we drop down to a B for a count of 2. Then back up to the C for 2. At 1 count on the B. And then we're down to an A in the second bar of page 17, and that's a count of 3. Up to a C for 2. Down to a B. Start a new sound. And a count of 2 on the D, rather than count of do on the T. So let's go, please, from the last 3 bars of page 15, your first entry in section 3, and this will be a second tenor sing. Here we go. After 2, 1, 2. Remembering that all-important crescendo at the end of that pattern. Now, this at the moment, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense, but when you're singing it in context, all of those nice notes will sound really lovely with what's going on, and so on. Okay, so trust me, when it's all put together, it sounds fabulous. Now, we are at 3 bars before 25, everyone, at animato, and what you got above is the altos and sopranos. Okay, it's a lovely little effect. Now we're just singing with the basses, putting the third into all those chords. Okay, so we sing. So it's a forte start. nice diminuendo at the end. So just sing that with me again, and now we hold that long note on the F at tranquillo there, well, for quite a while. It's going to be counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, nearly 10. Okay, and at a slower tempo, so just be ready for that, everyone. Okay, now, don't worry, we will sing section 3 a couple of times as well before we're done for the day. Now, we're at figure 26. Now, we've been holding an F here, so we've got first and second tenor split here at 26. First tenors, it's up the octave, so it's singing, singing. Okay, so a count of 3 on the F, sing, 3 on the ing, and then singing. And that little 2 notes with the 2 above means we treat that as straight quavers. Da, da, dum. Okay, so let's try that. First tenors, please, from 26, and singing, singing. Lovely. Short ing at the end there. And then, let me just double check. Right, so let's look at the second tenor part. This is the last bit of first and second tenor split of the rehearsal. So we've sung an F there from 25. Now, the first tenors go up here. Second tenors, you go up there. And so we sing from 26, singing, singing. Okay, so it's 3 on the sing, sing, 3 in the ing, singing, going down to the D at the end. Okay, let's just practice that. So straight in at 26, please, everyone. After 2, 1, 2, singing, singing. Great. Now, that is the lowest note, by the way, the lowest note for the tenors in the whole piece. So if you don't have the D, don't worry about it, just leave it out. Now then, we jump up the octave from that second tenor note, and we're in unison now to the end of the section. So we've just done singing. We then sing 1, 2 identical pitches, just the second one is ever so slightly longer. So it's a count of 3 on the first one, off, and the second one just pushes over the bar line, ever so slightly longer, and then we sing, 'Tis love of earth. And the count on earth is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a little bit. So listen to those pitches. Okay, so let's sing 'Tis love of earth, and make sure it's very, very loving indeed. So 1, 2, 'Tis love of earth. And there you are. That's section 3 for the tenors. So let's sing this one through. We're going from the top of page 14. Now, you don't sing at all on page 14. I'm going to do my best not to give you a jump scare because there was rather a loud bit leading up to it. Those of you who want to jump into the guide track, this is 7 minutes and 5 seconds in. So this is the top of 14. There's the alto solo. Second line. Figure 21. Baritone solo. Bottom of the page. Figure 22. There's Josh. 2 bars. Ready? And... Fabulous. Fabulous. Let's have that again. Exactly the same. Tenor 1 from the same place, same time. It isn't necessarily a very easy part. We have time to sing this twice each. So back to 7 minutes and 5 seconds. No earlier than that or I'll blast your eardrums out. Here we go. Take it away. So first tenor again. Third bar of page 14, fourth, fifth bar is the alto. Second line, figure 21. Okay, page 15, 2 bars, 1 bar, and... off. There we are. Okay, so let's go back now and sing the second tenor part from the same place. Top of page 14, we'll do this one twice. And then that'll be it for today. Done really well, tenors. We'll just have section 4 and the solos to look at when I see you on Thursday. Let's crack on. 7 minutes and 5. Second tenor, sing through. Here we go. Alto solo. Second line of the page. Figure 21. Figure 22. Okay, page 15, 2 bars, 1 bar, and... Well done, tenors. And I think just one more from the same place to wrap things up today. So here we go, back to page 14, very top, and this is the second tenor. Alto solo. Second line. Third line. Figure 22. Okay, 2 bars in, 1 bar, and... Let's just let it finish. I'm sorry to stop it there, although I will play the next chord. Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much for your hard work this afternoon, tenors. A joy as always to work with you, and I hope you had fun. Not the easiest part, I do concede, but well worth the efforts. I think we all agree when we're learning difficult music, if the end result, if we can get a sense of what it's going to sound like, it's worth persevering. And I really think this whole summer school is the best we've had so far, with Eric Whittaker's music, the opera course with Nessun Dorma and Easter Hymn, and so much more. And this, it's going to be an incredible concert. So thank you in advance for your hard work. When I see you on Thursday morning, we will pick up where we've left off with section 4. So if you have any time between now and then, could you have a little look at it? It's not actually a huge amount of music. So we're looking at the top of page 20 through to really 27, 7 pages. And then we have the solo parts to look at. Again, not a huge amount to look at. So I'm hoping for an hour or so on Thursday, and then the teaching is done for this. I do hope everyone's going to join me next week for the Delius Mass of Life. I've really been so excited about a project. This is very, very special indeed. I'm sure you've all signed up. If you haven't yet and you're still on the fence, please trust us. It's going to be amazing. And to be something part of something so special with the Bergen Philharmonic, Sir Mark Elder, I mean, goodness me, really exciting. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you can join us tomorrow for either of the rehearsals, we're with the sopranos and the basses, wrapping up their parts, looking at section 4, and of course the solo parts. Be a good sort of little way in, so that when you come along on Thursday, you've had a bit of a preview as to what's coming up. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks again for being here. Thanks so much to Nikki for being in the booth. Happy birthday, Carolyn. Just to say, there's various people I haven't said hello to, so hello to all of you. I do hope you've all enjoyed the rehearsal. I will see you very soon. Take care, everyone. All the best. Bye-bye.